Hey guys, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Gamer board game review. Today's game up on the tabletop is a big one, and it's called Millennium Blades. Millennium Blades is for 2 to 5 players, takes about 2 hours to play, and it's a high-intensity game. In the game Millennium Blades, you're going to be participating in drafting cards to make a deck, and not only that, but you're also going to be taking part in tournaments. So it's this big experience of a game. You first start off with all the different decks you can make, all different cards you put together, as well as you can do promos, and there's a metagame and all this crazy stuff, and you're going to be doing this dexterity aspect where you're grabbing cards, flipping, buying, selling, all this kind of stuff. After that's all over with, then you're going to go into a tournament and you're going to rinse and repeat over and over again and scoring points throughout during the deck building experience as well as the tournament experience. In this game, it has a plethora of different things to do, a plethora of different cards to play, a ton of different aspects to it. It even has paper money, but they're all big stacks that are all put together. This is actually just one single dollar here, but actually I guess it counts for $1 million because the game is all about big, overly experimental and crazy. A lot of different aspects. There's a ton of stuff in this box, as well as a ton of different mini games or additional like content. You can change the game up, as well as the decks, as well as all the different players. All right, let me just go ahead and show the game. So here's all the contents for the CCG simulating card game Millennium Blades. As you can see, there's a bunch of different paper money stacks, and when you first get the game, you're gonna have to be putting these in stacks of 10. So there's gonna be actually 10 money in here, and you go up front and back, and so it looks kind of like this, and you put a sticker over it, and as you can see, there's all these different 10s, 5s, and 1s over here, and that's a little bit of the setup for the game, and it actually shows you the 10 on one side of the cards here. Also, you're going to be getting characters to play throughout the game, and so you're going to go ahead and grab one of your favorite characters to choose from, as well as these things that come with it, like the friendship cards, and you can be using those for certain parts of the game as well. And you're going to be getting these cell tokens here, these cell chits, along with their point scoring markers. This all comes with the same player, and there's one for each of the different 5 characters to choose from. You're also going to be making a deck of cards, and you're going to be doing that by adding 5 single card expansion packs, 5 single card premium pack, 4 single card premium packs, and then 3 single card master packs. Also, there is a starter deck for each and every single one of the players, and as you can look here, it shows you the different types of cards for the different types of players, and what the cards do and all that kind of stuff. Then, as you can see over here, this big stack of cards is what you're going to end up with after creating your stack, and you can kind of go back and forth making different ones throughout the game to determine what you want to have here. Also, you're going to have the metagame updates, and these things are going to tell you what you're going to be looking to do during the tournament and how many points you're going to get for having played these cards after making your specific deck. You're going to be doing the metagame update and the type and element versions. So maybe the type would be one of these guys here, show you that you need these type of animal boosts, whereas the element over here would be like, okay, well, you also need air, or you need light, or whatever, so that's going to be aspect as well. You also have gold promotional packs and silver as well as bronze, and you can go ahead and buy these for a certain cost throughout the game by discarding certain cards, and you can break the different types of decks you want to use with it. And so as you're going through the deck building process, you can get really, really powerful, strong cards at the cost of losing cards that you've bought throughout this process. There's also additional content, which are these dual and exotic location cards, which will change the way the game plays and during the tournament and the deck building aspects of the game. Let's go ahead and look through an easy one. Players can only play cards players can play cards in any slot in their tableau, which doesn't make sense right now, but that's the way it changes the game. There's also additional plus points to certain aspects throughout the tournament that you're going to be using. You have player boards over here, and you've got these boards over here which represent the deck building aspects of the game. These guys are all just have a single face, but these ones over here have both front and back for the collection deck area, as well as the playing the tournament aspect of the tableau deck box and your accessories over here. Okay, so you know the contents of the game and how it's kind of structured. Let me tell you what you get. Now, first of all, you're going to be getting $30 million, and each one of these represents a million. So this is $1 million, this is $10 million. Everybody gets 30 in any increments you want, I suppose. You're also going to be getting a player of your choice, or a character card. This is the power creep, and then he's going to be getting his friendship cards as well underneath that, and as well as a starting deck. Now, you can choose any type of character you want along with any starter deck. It doesn't have to be a line, but I chose blue and blue. This one here is Blue Lake Village, and you're going to be getting all these cards that go along with it. Not only that, but you're also going to be getting sell chits. These things here is what we can allow you to sell cards during the draft aspect. Once you've sold all the amount, like if you've sold all 4 here, you can't resell anymore until you actually get somebody to buy those cards. Also, you're going to be getting 3 chits, or 3 little blue cubes here that represent score during the tournament phase. You're also going to be getting a board here, which is going to represent your deck area here, your binder, your collection area, and then Card Anatomy, Marketplace, and all the different symbols represent elements, types, and rarities. After you've got all this stuff, you're going to start the game by getting dealt 6 cards from the top of the store area deck. Everybody's going to get 6 technically booster decks. Every card is technically called a single card expansion pack of some sort. After you got 6 from everybody, then you're going to have 7 minutes of deck building. 7 minutes of deck building is simple. You're going to spend money to buy packs. Those packs are going to go into your deck area. Then you can also sell cards that you've bought over a period of time on the metagame area. Also, just before all this stuff happens, you're going to actually flip over a metagame type, which is going to tell you how many points a specific thing is going to be worth during the tournament aspect. You can also discard cards to get bronze, gold, and silver promo cards. This requires 5 cards to get rid of in order to get this, but you have the option to do 7 and 9 for silver and gold as well. As you buy cards, you're going to flip down, or buy packs, you're going to be flipping down more packs onto the area, and if it comes down to a tie, whoever has the lowest amount of points gets it. And also, if you buy a card or a pack from the board, the next card that gets dealt downward is going to be up for grabs for you first before anybody else. That's the basic aspect. Then after that, you're going to go ahead and flip over the next meta game, get drawn more cards, 6 more cards from the deck here, or 6 more packs, I should say, and you're going to do 7 more minutes. Finally, you're going to do a certain amount of time of deck building, depending on the scenario or whatever. And after you've built your deck and put your collection area, there's going to be collections you're going to be doing, which is basically going to be taking cards from your binder and selling off collections for points. And here it doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but this has a matching 4 different symbols, which is going to score you points by getting rid of them from your collection aspect. Then the tournament begins, which I'll explain a little bit, after I show you a little example of how all of this deck building and the experience works from down below. Okay, so now at the beginning of the game, as you can see, I set up the board here. We've got our binder along with our starting single card starter packs right here, as well as $30 million, our character, our sell cards, and our little points, our little chits here we'll be using later. Also set up the board. This is the store area. It's where we're going to put all of our cards here. We've set up all of our decks you can buy. Expansions you can buy, expansion packs you can buy here. There's 9 of them. They're all face down. Their prices are listed at the top right-hand corner. 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 6, 6, 4, 5. Over here, gold, bronze, and silver promos and how much it costs to discard cards to get them. Our metagame area, as well as over here is our selling and buying aspect. Now to begin, it's pretty simple. We're going to take 6 cards, 6 cards, and we're going to we're going to give them to each player. So here's 6 cards for you, and maybe another player would get 6 cards as well. Depends on how many players you're playing, but we're just going to be showing you a simple single-player aspect of the game, just so you get an idea of how it's played. You need at least 2 players to play this game, though, but just so you get an idea of how it works. These cards are all going to go into your binder area, and they're yours to keep throughout the game as you go ahead and build and collect cards and collection area and all that good stuff. Next is you're going to be doing 7 minutes of buying and selling. So how does that work? Well, it's pretty simple. You start a timer up, and then you start going crazy buying cards. It's the dexterity aspect of the game. So if you want to buy this card right here, 006 + 1, you would simply go 5 and 6. So you put these guys over here in the bank, and you take this card, and it's yours. When you buy a card, simply go ahead and replace that card, and you have dibs on the first next card that is dealt out before anybody else can get it. If you pass on that, though, it's anybody's game, and if 2 people go to grab that card at the same time, the person who has the least amount of points is going to be taking that card. Also, if you wanted to, you could discard cards, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You could discard these cards, get rid of them, and you could take a bronze promo card, and that goes over here. Now, not only that, but as we're doing all the buying and selling and whatnot, you can also, as you're doing the buying, you can also do some selling. And selling is pretty easy. For instance, if I wanted to and I just didn't like this bronze promo for some reason, after I discarded 5 cards for it, I could put it into the sell area. I sell it, and I put my little sell marker on, which is right here, and now anybody can buy this from the bank. And the bank is going to give me $6. So I just gained $6 for this one, and anybody else can go ahead and buy it for 6 as well. Now that doesn't matter what's on the back, this is usually what you're going to be buying it for, but when you're doing selling, the bank is going to stay in control of it after you get the money out. So if somebody buys this for $6, it's going to go over here. And you can only sell cards equivalent to the number you have over here. And whenever somebody buys a card, so if he wanted to buy this card from me for 6, he would get this card and my sell marker would go back. And also this player could also sell as well. And you'd flip it over, and that's only worth 1. So that's the idea for buying and selling. Also remember too, at the very beginning of this phase, this is going to be flipped over. And why is that important? Well, this is the metagame. This tells us what we need to buy. Mage boost, 15 points. So for every mage card that is on our tableau during the tournament phase, that's going to give us a lot of points. So we need to know that. So we continue to buy stuff, 5 and 6. So maybe we want both of those. It's going to cost us 11. So we'll take these guys here, and then we're going to go ahead and do this. And as we're buying, we're looking at the cards. And look at the cards here. What do they have? We got 4, 7, 5, 4, and we have symbology over here, and they tell you all the different things here. These little M's stand for myth cards. These over here are going to be fire, and then you got this little tree over here, and you can associate it all over here. That's earth. And so you're trying to make a deck. Now you want to get these mage cards here, but there's none over here. Is there any over here? Yes, so we have a whole deck full of mage cards. Oh, 3 of them. That's pretty good. So these cards are definitely going to be useful in our deck. And we also need to know what this is, but we don't know that because we're still buying cards. After the 7 minutes are up and we've went ahead and purchased all the cards we're going to be picking up, so another $9 over here. We'll go ahead and discard this 10 and take a 1. Then that's going to be done with. We're going to refresh everything, make sure everything's all set up. All the players are going to check, make sure everything's all good. And we're going to be dealt 6 more cards from the for the booster pack. So 6 more booster packs right here are going to go to each player. Nice. Then we're going to flip over the next metagame. Oh, water. So we know it's water and mage. And we're going to continue again for another 7 minutes to go ahead and purchase and buy cards. And everybody's going to keep doing that and selling cards and discarding for these guys. After that's all done with, we've done 2 rounds of that, then we're going to go into the deck building phase. And the deck building phase is pretty simple. We're going to need to choose 8 single cards, a deck box, and 2 accessories. And luckily, if you didn't get a deck box or accessories, there's most likely going to be some in your starting deck of cards. So that's an accessory, a deck protector, and there's a deck box. So we've got at least 2 in this one. And so that counts as our deck box and one of our accessories. Maybe we got another accessory in here. Here's another deck box to look at. Single box. Another accessory? No, we didn't get an accessory. That's no good. So we would only get 1 accessory for this for us here, but we'd also get to choose 8 single cards. And this would be based on mages and water. And if we can find, so we got, okay, this is a mage and a water, mage and water. These are good. And these are all water, so these are also good as well. And we can look through here. And after we've gone ahead and built our deck, we can also go ahead and sell to our collection area. And selling to a collection area is you're going to build a collection by matching 2 or more cards, all with the same type or element. Each card must have a different star rating. So I'll show you what that looks like. Let's say we went ahead and bought these cards during the tournament, and we obviously didn't, but if we did, we could go ahead and put these on here. That's our collection. So this is a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. And over here you see this little gear, which is going to stand for construct, as well as they have different symbols. So the different star value and the same symbol is going to give us a collection, and we'll go ahead and look here. Our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th card, that gives us 7 points to start off with. That's really good. These cards are going to go away, and we're going to get 7 points. After this phase is all done with, and we've made up our deck, we've got our deck, we're going to go ahead and turn over this player board here, and then we're going to begin the tournament aspect of the game. Okay, so after buying and selling those 2 rounds, as well as your deck setup, as well as the collections aspect, make sure, though, before we go into the tournament aspect, to remove all the cards in the store area and replace them with new ones for the next aspect of play. But now we're going to the tournament phase, and how does that work? Well, you're going to get one of these really big sheets, and it's just basically the back end of your deck and all that kind of stuff. You're going to take everything off, and then you're going to use this thing here. And you're going to put points on your trackers, as well as this is your tableau, which is going to show you the 6 different cards you're going to be playing. You're going to have 8 cards to choose from, but you're going to end up only playing 6. You're also going to get 2 accessories and a deck box to place here, which also shows you the symbols. Your objective is to score as many points this round as possible, in which case you're going to get points for the game. If you can take 1st, 2nd place, and so on and so forth. Anyway, that's the basic aspect. Whoever has played the last game of a deck builder or opened up a pack, you guys can determine gets to go first, and it goes clockwise. Let me show you how this is played and what the cards kind of do. Okay, so here we are at the tournament phase. As you see, you've got your tableau here, as well as you got your 2 accessories and your deck box, and they all do different things. This one says you gain 8 points for each water card you play in your tableau, which is over here. This one lets you have a reaction, which you can do during another player's turn, prevent a card in your tableau from being flipped by an opponent's effect. And this one here is an action. Whenever you play a card, as long as you play a card, you can play an action, and this one could be one of them. When you play an action, you're going to flip the card over, though it's not going to be usable again. This one says you can play any extra card, or you can play an extra card this turn. And a reaction is when you clash, gain 2 points for, or gain +2 for that clash. And clashing is simple, taking cards off the top of a deck and seeing who has the highest. So if this is 3 and this is 1, you get to +2, it would tie there. But that's the aspect for clash. There's a bunch of other little aspects to the game. Nevertheless, we're also going to have over here, these are the meta game, and every player is affected by these things. Every time you play a mage spell or a water spell or both, you're going to gain 15 or 30 points. And so that is why we've chosen the decks the way you did. And as you can see in my deck here, I have quite a lot of water cards and 4 mage cards. And those cards are definitely going to be used throughout this game because they're going to be worth a lot of points. And so I opened the pack first, a real pack in real time at some point, so I'm going to go first. And it's very simple how it works. You've got scoring trackers here, 0, 00, and 000. As you go up this track, then these are going to go up. So from 1 to 9, then bam goes to 10, and then 9 to 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 100, 200, and even 300 points. Well, here's how the aspect goes. We pick up these cards here. What do we got here? This one says if you play this, you gain 10 points, and as an action, you can remove this card from the game and gain the top card of the store, to your hand. Then immediately play it if it is not a deck box or accessory. So I can go, okay, here, I'm going to play this card here. I gain 10. So 9, and then it goes to 10. And then I can, as an action, flip this card, and it goes away. It moves out of the game. I'll take a card from the store and flip it over and see what happens. Bam! The next card you play in your tableau comes into play with 3 additional +1 tokens on that. And as you can see over here, these are the +1 tokens that you would be including the next time you play a card. And as an action, you can also gain points equal to twice the star value of the card to the immediate right of this card. So that's pretty good. Everybody else is going to get to go around, and they might use their accessories and whatnot to do so. And if not, then another card is played. And you can choose whatever card you want from your deck of 8, or from your stack of 8 decks, I should say. So maybe I want to do... I don't know. That doesn't look very good. I could play this card here. Dauntless the Frozen. This card cannot be... cards can't be attached to this card. The top... so players gain points equal to... players cannot gain points, including you, at the start of your turn. Flip this card. This effect stops working during scoring. Okay, so we're not going to do that, though, because what we want to do is use this action here. So the next time a card comes into play, it gets +3, so it goes up to 7. And as the action of this turn, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and gain twice the amount of points here. So it's 14 points, putting it at 20 and going to 4. So that's pretty good. And you're going to continue to play cards, and everybody's going to play them until you can no longer play cards or you don't have any cards to play. And once everybody has finished that, then you're going to go ahead and score additional bonus points. So we'll just go ahead and say I'm somewhere over here, 147 points. You're going to score 15 points for each face-up card on the field that has these symbols on it. So here we've got 30, and then 45, and then we got another 30 here, so that's 75, 80, 90, 105, and 120 points. So 200 and then 20 points. And then that is it. That's the aspect of the game. There's different cards that do different things. Sometimes they copy an effect of another card. Sometimes you can play them and gain points. This one says gain 16 if there are at least 3 different types among the cards on your tableau. So you have 1, 2, and 3 different types: animal, myth, construct, citizen, soldier, mage. So 1, 2, and 3. We got a mage, and we got an animal, and we got a construct. So that is enough. We would gain 16 points. Awesome. And so on and so forth. There's a ton of cards in this game with a ton of different things, and you also may be using these to perform their actions, as well as also gaining points from your deck box. This says gain an extra 8 points for each water card in your tableau. Max of 30 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that would be 5 times 8, I think, right? 5, 10. So 8 for each water. Yeah, it'd be something. You gain some amount of points. I can't think of the math right now. But that's the aspect. Once all this is done, you're going to go ahead and tally up the scores and see who has the most. Then the scoring sheet will be tallied, and it's going to be, okay, is it the pre-release, round 1 or 2 or 3? And if you got first place, it's 7 for the pre-release, and round 1 is 21 points, and everybody's going to get points. And after you go ahead and score up the points for everything, you're going to go ahead and start up again with the deck building aspect of the game, buying and selling and trading for silver promo cards and whatnot. But that's the basic idea of how you play the game Millennium Blades by level 99. Also, don't forget, at the end of every tournament round, there's going to be prize support that you can get. You're going to get bronze, and then you can get up to silver. Everybody's going to get one of these cards. It's kind of like a bonus for participating. But after that, yes, it rinses and repeats and starts back again at the deck building phase. Make sure everybody gets those $30 once again, and everybody gets the 6 cards, and you continue going on like that. 2 or 3 more times depending on the variant. There could be a pre-release, or you can have just 3 rounds. Depends on how you want to do it. And you could also include all these extra exotic locations that change the way the game is played. But that is the basic idea of the game. So I'm going to tell you what I think about the game Millennium Blades. So first of all, this game is Colossus, and there is a ton of cards. This is just for one single game, and there's an extra like double, or an extra double this amount almost, or maybe like ×2 of this amount, and that you can go ahead and switch these cards with. So you have the single card packs, the gold, and or the premium or whatever they're called, and you can take them and mix them up and change them in any different way you want. And there's a bunch of different variants of play. There's always going to be a different deck building experience and how you go about picking apart cards and picking apart the decks and putting them together. It's a very simple system though, especially the fighting system, the tournament system. You're only going to have 8 cards plus your 2 accessories and your 1 deck box. And as you build them, it's going from left to right in your tableau, and different things are happening. Maybe you're going to be scoring points or hurting your opponent, or you're trying to build up to get this meta game, because this meta game is very important. You want to always be attached to the meta, because you can gain 30 points per card. And as you see, 16 to 20 points for just playing a card is very good, but 30 points for keeping it face up is even better. So if you like games that involve, if you like Magic the Gathering, other games like that, those trading card games, this is going to be a simulation of one of those games. And you do feel like you're in a draft. You do feel like you're buying and selling. This is the first time I've ever really liked the paper money. These are really cool, very different, unique, and you're having 10 of them all in one. So this is actually $1 right here. So it feels thicker and strong and sturdier, so it's not going to be like ripping and tearing or getting all messed up. I like that a lot better. The selling aspect of the game is super fun too. It interacts with your opponents, and both different portions of the game, the buying and selling and trading and all that kind of stuff, along with the tournament, all have their own unique aspects. Sometimes you can be working together with people during the buying and selling. I'll take this, you take this. Oh, do you want to buy this from me? Yeah, this is a really good card for you. But then when it comes to the tournament, you could be screwing over your opponents, flipping over their cards, giving them no points and whatnot. And then you have to build these trust relationships throughout the time you're playing this game. And the game is fairly lengthy, but you don't have to play that much. You can play one single tournament just for fun. Just do your deck building experience and play around. However, it does take a bit to put everything together and set up all the cards. There's a ton of content in this game, which makes it really it's really value for your money if you like this kind of a game. Personally, I love this game. I love Magic the Gathering. I love tournaments. I love drafting. That is all fun for me, and this does bring out that experience. When I first heard about this game, they were telling me it's actually a drafting experience along with the tournament and all that kind of stuff. I didn't even understand what it meant, and I also didn't think it was going to, I wasn't sure if it was going to do justice to actually the deck building experience that is Magic the Gathering. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and all that do that as well, but that was my favorite, my love, and this is beautiful because now I can't have time for all those tournaments when I'm too busy playing games, board games. So now if I want to, for an extra hour or two, I can sit down and do a little drafting with my friends and play up to 5 players, which is more than enough players for this game. 2 players is just as fun, 3 works, and so does 4. 5, and it can get lengthy. So just be aware of that. And you might want to change how long you want to play the game based on doing that pre-release aspect of the game, or even adding these kind of cards. There's adding the different promotionals, the different promotional cards. There's a ton of different stuff. Like really, even when you give people things for being good to you and stuff like that I didn't even get into because there's just a ton of it. These friendship cards, you can give them stars, +1, +2, and +3, as well as there's other cards you can give away as well, and you can set up any different type of players you want with the specific types of decks. And this game has a ton of room for expansion because really you can just keep building off of this concept. The tableau building is super simple, so it functions very well with all of the cards, but you have to be very wary how you build your deck, because you do not build correctly to the meta, or you don't know how to place your cards really well, or you don't figure out the best strategy, you could be suffering a lot of point loss. But like I said, this game is big and thick and wonderful for that deck builder experience. If you don't like deck builders, if you don't like doing the draft, if you're not really a big fan of just placing down the tableau aspect, if you want more battling, this tableau aspect is kind of small compared to the whole experience of building the stuff. So I don't know, that'll be up to you. But personally, this is definitely a favorite of mine. This is going into my collection, and I will be playing this as often as I can whenever I want that little bit of drafting experience, because I can't get it from anything else. Anyway, Level 99 did a great job. Millennium Blades is great. Check it out in the description below. I highly, highly recommend it.